Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Liverpool Connection podcast. And before we get into the match, we want to send our thoughts to everyone in the Hillsborough families. And I do want to say as well, I thought the mosaic today on the Kop was absolutely amazing. So we want to get that out, and we know obviously how troubling it is for so many people, families, or for anyone else that was connected. So we want to get that out of the way first. Darren, I was thinking today, mate, when we sort of spoke about starting to do these pods and talk about the football, we were all like, yeah, it'll be dead sound. We'll go down the we'll go down the pub, we'll chat about the football, it'll be dead cool. And I didn't think that on a Sunday night, we'd be getting on a Zoom and we'd be chatting about Liverpool being shit and getting beat 1-0 away at 1-0 at home against Crystal Palace.
Neither did I. Just going back to the Hillsborough mosaic, really have to say the Palace fans were absolutely brilliant. That's how you do a moment of silence. I've always thought Palace fans are really good. You know, they chant about their own team like you should, but they showed massive respect. Back to being on a Zoom at 9 o'clock at night. I think if we'd done one night after the match, there just would have been a lot of swearing from all three of us. I just, my kids know words now that they should never know or never hear again. It was coming. To be honest, we've seen it, and just even like listening to Klopp's presser after the match, he's using said United a few times. Mm-hmm. It's like we're hung up on what happened in the FA Cup and in the league with United. It's like we're a marathoner that's hit a brick wall and we can't get past 18 miles. It's just something that's been happening for a while, though. But I mean, we go back and back and back. And we showed the stat today. We talked about the stat. 21 out of 32 games, the opponent has scored first. Yeah, we are the comeback kings, but you can't expect us to come back that many times. And we're going to get into it. The front three are firing blanks. What about the defenders? Kanouté doesn't look right to me at all. Van Dijk, a little bit of the same thing. To me, he's a bit too casual.
I thought you calmed down.
Oh, that's calm compared to what I was like.
Julian, as we go further into the therapy session, I'll be honest, Darren was saying before about, if we would have done one after the match, there would have been a lot of swear words. I didn't just really speak for about an hour after it. I was absolutely numb. Just initial thoughts, really. I don't really get too deep into it. You just initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts are, and I know we've discussed this for a while, is I'm glad we haven't done the live match day vlog thing because that could have been nasty by the end of the game, and there would have been a lot more swear words that don't exist that we would have made up, that kids would have been, and maybe adults would have been shocked by it. But I think
your phone would have been broken, to be fair. I think I would have just grabbed your phone and threw it.
Yeah, it probably would. But yeah, like Darren said, this has been coming for a while. I know, Glenn, me and you have chatted about this. I don't think we played well for a long time. Over the 90 minutes, we've been starting games poorly, right? And our first halves have been really poor for a long time. And I saw a stat earlier that for the first 15 minutes of games, only Sheffield United have a worse record than us in regards to conceding goals and scoring goals. And that kind of tells you a big part of the story of this problem that we've been having, and we've been getting away with it because we've been finishing chances, right? But now that's stopped happening, and And you're right, yeah, Klopp spoke about it in the press conference about the Manchester United, the FA Cup game, losing it the way we did. Mentally, it's had a massive effect on us. And we look, I mean, it's unbelievable watching the last two games against Atalanta and against Crystal Palace, how like lack of energy. It just seems like the other teams just like are well up for it, and they're pressing a lot stronger than us, and we're going for a league title, right? We were going for the Europa League, and it feels like there's a severe lack of energy. The mentality seems shot, and I'm not sure exactly how you fix that. I think there's maybe a few players that started today that I was surprised by it, be it Kanate, Jones. I was very surprised that they both started again. And you're right, Kanate looks extremely leggy. Jones looks like someone that's been out for a long time. And then you can add Salah to that as well. And Salah looks like someone that's been out for a long time as well. And when you're at this stage of the season, you don't have the time to wait for players to build their fitness up. You really don't. You have to go into every single game, all 11 players out there, knowing their roles, 100% fit, and going to win every single game. So it's, extremely, extremely disappointing week.
Well, at that, Darren, I feel like the manager's got away with it a little bit this week, because like what waking up this morning, similar to Julian, I looked at that team and I'm really, really shocked that he's basically picked Bob Costas. He's picked a very similar team to what played on Thursday night. On Thursday night, it looked like a load of them were like a bunch of crabs. So I'm like, how are they starting again today? Like we're saying, I think the Kanate one, the fact that he's playing 2 games just seems weird. It just seems really weird. Like, I don't really understand that one. And like Consa's been, I know he had the mistake, but other than that, he's been playing well. So you would have thought that maybe he would have come in. How Elliott doesn't come in, and how Curtis plays today is beyond me. But what was your thoughts? What were you thinking when you seen the starting 11? Like, what would you have done differently?
Jones would have started for me. I mean, Jones needs rhythm.
Yeah. We all do. It's tough, isn't it? Like we were speaking about it, Julian. We all sort of need the rhythm, but like you're trying to give people rhythm and games, but they're fucked. And you've got like 4 or 5 of them that haven't played in ages. So it's like you're trying to get them that, but they're also playing at probably like 70% sharpness.
Yeah, you don't try and give somebody rhythm with 7 league matches to go, and you're in a title race. Jones was way off of it. Jones from last season, where he was playing really well, would have probably finished that in the back of the net. It's just an Endo. He was playing in treacle. He looked like he had about 50 sticky toffee puds in him. He just couldn't move, and every time he was just passing the ball straight back to them. Maka looks knackered.
Yeah,
it's just Slobozai, even though he came on, just did the same thing he's been doing, which is nothing. And it's frustrating to see. The only person that could hold his head up high today was Robbo. That was it. I mean, Alisson, of course, but like outfield players was Robbo. He did everything. He was bombing down that left side, bombing back. Saved us on the goal line from Palace scoring another goal. But there was I just didn't see like fight in us. And again, that worries me. First 45. Let's see, after Thursday's absolutely shite match, Klopp went and said there will be a response. I didn't see a response. Not in that first 45 minutes, I didn't.
There was no
response whatsoever. So what's going on?
It's almost like Crystal Palace were the team that had a response in regards to they saw us play Atalanta and said, hey, we know how we can get at Liverpool here. Let's box McAllister. Let's stop McAllister from getting the ball. then Endo's going to get a lot of space, and Endo isn't as great on the ball. And you could see exactly what they were going to do with the going forward. It was so clear from the start, and we shouldn't be pressed as much as we were, and look so lethargic as we did against the Palace team. Palace aren't great, but we made Palace look exceptional. We made them look really good, and they do have a lot of good individual players, no doubt, right? But they're not a good team. We're going for the league title. Well, we went into this game joint top of the league, but you wouldn't know that watching that game. You would think that Palace were like the ones fighting for it, which is insane.
I know what you're saying. I think first off was really, really poor. Like, to give them credit, in the second half, I do think Liverpool actually were a lot better. I mean, they couldn't be any worse, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But I sent you a stat or something I was sent before, and it actually feels like it's made up. That it was, I think Liverpool have had more chances than anyone in the league, but conversion wise, we're like 10th in the league. It's an absolutely wild stat. I'll just read it now. So for shots, we've had the most in the league. Goals second, expected goals first, big chances first. But then this is the one that's really alarming. Shot accuracy, we're 14th. Shot conversion rate 10th. Big chance conversion 11th. Now, not massively want to get crazy on stats and stuff, because I think sometimes it can be a bit, mad, but you can't really say anything about that, can you? Like, we've had 4 games now. We've had 4 games now where we are creating. And it's been, even go back to the cup final, where we're creating so many chances. The cup quarter final, where we're creating so many chances, and we're either making the wrong choice of pass, or we're just not clinical enough. And
well, on that, to like enhance your stats, right? I've got another one here that goes.
Wilson will be loving this.
Yeah, I know. So it goes beyond the player, and if I look at the big chances scored, big chances missed, like Salah has been carrying us for a long time early in the season. He's the one that can be relied upon. That's no surprise to us. Now Salah's come back, and obviously he doesn't look himself, so we're struggling big time. But you look at like Gakpo, Diaz, and Nunes. So many, like if I look at Nunes, big chances scored 7, big chances missed 32. That's the worst in the league, and that is something that is causing and has been causing massive issues for us. Diaz hasn't been great. Diogo Jota, of course, has been out. Gakpo's numbers haven't been good, but it's a huge issue. It's been coming for a while. Even in the first half, we had that chance where Darwin had a great opportunity and he could have passed it. I think Salah was completely open, and he decided to take the shot on goal, and it was, if he scores it, great, but he made the wrong decision, and then Palace go up the other end and score. But you've got to take, at this stage of the season, any stage of the season, you've got to take these chances. But because there's going to be a point, especially with us conceding and not playing well defensively recently, that we're going to start losing games, right? You can't carry on like this, right? You just can't. And we say all of this, and we're 2 points behind Man City, like in the league. So it's like it feels like, and I'm sure Arsenal today will feel the same way, but it feels like we've missed a massive opportunity here that City basically have given us.
Yeah, it's like another kick in the balls when Arsenal lost as well.
Oh, how to feel about that, good or bad, because it kind of helps us.
It adds to the anger, because you're just, nobody saw Palace and Villa beating, us and Arsenal away, and I just think we've missed it's what we're probably going to sit down at the pub at the end of the season and just say what could have been. As we've talked about, we get into the season, we said top 4, didn't we?
Yeah, but don't be doing that yet. don't be doing that sort of stuff yet because
I know. I mean, we were saying top 4.
Yeah, I know, but I've heard people saying stuff like that recently. We're so far ahead of where we should be, and we are, and all that. But I can't have rational conversations like that.
It will still feel like we've thrown away a golden chance.
Oh no,
here.
that's what, no. I'm saying though, but at the start of the season, we were like top 4 and a trophy, and that would be a success. But now that we've been in all of this, now it feels like a failure.
Yeah, it's just a massive kick in the bollocks for sure.
Yeah. You know, and we've got the players. It's just I just can't put my finger on like what's going on from a month ago to now. It's either absolutely tanked or our luck has run out.
Yeah, I think we've like touched upon it a little bit. I think all these players coming back, there's no coincidence as well that our form has kind of fallen off as you're trying to fit in Salah, as you're trying to fit in Szoboszlai, as you're trying to fit in Jones, and then Konate is injured one week and he's fit the rest. And we've tried to now change. We've tried to change it up, and it hasn't really. Well, it hasn't worked at all, has it?
So with that then, because I really think the manager's had a poor week or two here. Because I know obviously it's a double-edged sword. You want to try and get all these players minutes and stuff, but we've not really seen any of the young players played in the last couple of weeks. So I'm not saying that I want Bobby Cork to start at home against Crystal Palace and stuff, but we've not really seen any of them. Do you know what I mean? So if some of these other players are not ready yet, if they're not fully ready to start games and play 60 minutes, then why can't we be seeing a little bit more of these the younger players? I mean, they've been great when they played. Do you know what I mean? And it actually comes to the last 2 games. Liverpool have been obviously poor both halves. And Thursday night, the manager's made 3 subs. Today he's made a sub, and then obviously the sub with Bradley. But at the end of the game, it feels like we've needed one more sub. Do you know what I mean? And to me, that's the manager's picked the wrong team on both occasions, because when you're getting to a stage where you've made your 4th sub and then you're like, well, fucking hell, I've only got one more sub left. I need to sort of. Harvey would have probably come on 20 minutes earlier. If we didn't have if he wasn't the last sub, do you know what I mean? And it's a big week for the manager. Obviously, don't want to sound too obvious about that, but it's it's going to be really. I mean, can you imagine being him, Pep Linders, and everyone tomorrow and thinking about picking a team for Thursday night? It's tough going, isn't it?
Do you think today's? It would have. Today's selection was thinking about Thursday as well in regards to the likes of Elliott, Gakpo, like potentially probably going to be starting on Thursday. I would have liked to have seen Elliott start today, honest, instead of Jones, because I think Elliott has been brilliant.
Yeah.
While everyone was out injured, Elliott came in, was magnificent. But maybe there's one eye on Thursday, which sounds bizarre saying that, but looking at that lineup.
With that though, if you think about Thursday night, wouldn't you want Endo to start that Thursday night game?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want Konate to start that Thursday night game?
Yes, which is why I was surprised Konate started today. That tells me Konate isn't starting on Thursday.
Yeah, but I would thought it would have been the other way around. That you would have not played Endo, not played Konate, and then maybe even not started Nunes and played Gakpo today and played Nunes in there. But yeah.
With Bradley looks like he could be out. I think Trent might be starting.
I don't think so. I think it's great getting him and Jota back, but they're so off it.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
so off it. They
need to be integrated. You know, I don't know, but like you hit on it, Glenn, the other day. Why aren't they playing in like the under-23s?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It is weird, isn't it? just to sort of build up the minutes and stuff. But it doesn't really happen anymore. So there's probably a sensible reason for it, isn't there? Because us three dickheads on a Sunday night probably don't have the answers.
I don't think you can have Salah turning up.
Not really Salah, but with players have been out for a while and they just
Yeah.
need 20 minutes and they want to play and sort of get the rhythm in their legs and stuff. But I don't really want to ask you this. It's a bit of a shit house question, but you know, I am that type of person. I'll come to you first, Darren. Is it over?
Yes.
Fucking straight away, right in 2-4. Okay.
No, again, you know, obviously the heart says it's not, you know, until the fat lady sings and all that crap. But my head is like, from what I've seen in the past couple of weeks, I don't see us winning those 6 matches. I see City winning those 6 matches. And we've said it all along that it's City's to lose. They're favourites. They're still favourites. I just, I hate to say it. I do.
No, I mean, it's unfair. Julian?
Nah, it's not over. 6 games left. It's highly unlikely.
Of course.
I mean, we should know as Liverpool fans that nothing's ever over, right? We're always full of surprises, but there are still 6 games left, right? Is it highly unlikely? Of course it is. But you never know with Man City. All it takes is like a red card in one of their games, one of their players to get a really bad injury, whatnot. But you never know. But with 6 games left, no, it's not. It's not over. It's highly unlikely. But we've got to just focus on us. Speaking like a manager, we just got to focus on our performances. We've got to get our form back. We've got to win our games, and then whatever happens, happens.
Julian's 10 seconds away from saying just got to take it 1 game at a time.
Just got to take it 1 game at a time, Glenn.
Well, I mean, do you think this? I mean, like, you know, obviously, mountain to climb on Thursday. If we, you know, you never know. You never know with Liverpool. That's the thing. You know, we might win 4-0, but if we get knocked out, all we have is to concentrate on those 6 games.
Well, we stand if we won today.
Yeah. Man City have got, you know, Real Madrid to play. They've still got the FA Cup final, so they'll have matches every...
Semi-final.
Huh?
Semi-final.
I mean semi-final, sorry, yeah, against Chelsea. So I still think Spurs have a lot to do in this title race.
Oh,
no, basically, Darren before said no, absolutely not. And I Julian for 30 seconds. I'll be honest, right? So I thought, and I think City will win the league now. I mean, we've been in this position so many times before that I don't even want to give myself a second. But when Arsenal did get beat, I was actually out. I was speaking to you actually, Darren, wasn't I? I remember my little fixture thing I drew up in the pub. Oh, we fixtures. I had that in the car, and I did just sort of grab it and sort of look at City's fixtures and go, "Ooh, Nottingham Forest away is going to be hard." But I think the fact that we've got to wait for them to slip up, and then I do think Arsenal will slip up again. But it's more the fact that could City slip up? Yeah, I doubt it though. Arsenal will slip up again, I think, but we won't win all 6 games. I don't think, unfortunately.
Foot are away, right?
That might not be a bad thing, mate, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be a bad thing. You know, it might not be the worst thing in the world because some, you know, at home, I don't know what it is. It doesn't seem to be. Maybe it's the nerves of it or what, I don't know. By the way, this idea of fucking off at 75 minutes or 80 minutes it wasn't probably that many people, to be fair, but I mean, fuck me. I mean, I know we never got back in the game today, but right now, what are you playing at if you're even 10 minutes before the end?
Yeah, I think that's disgusting. I mean, Arsenal did this. Supporters did the same damn thing. It's wrong, you know. You're there.
It is wrong. You're 2-0 down. I sort of get it though in some ways, but I don't. But today, like, oh yeah.
You stay till the end.
Yeah. Anyway,
especially with us, we're only 1-0 down, and we know how good we are late on.
yeah. We've
That's
done it millions of
ridiculous.
times, haven't we?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
let me ask you this: what do you think that Klopp needs to do to turn this around? Do you see an obvious fix here? Is it regards to players, system? What would you do in this situation?
Fucking hell, I thought we'd try to keep this to 30 minutes.
It's confidence.
I was going to ask you about Thursday night. I don't know how much we want to get into Thursday night. Are you talking about that specific game or just because?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, we look at it
tough.
from afar and we think, hindsight is brilliant. I mean, for me, I think you bring in the players that have been doing really well. I think it's time to start Jota, right? I think
Risky though.
It is risky, but we have 6 games left in the league, and we could go out of the Europa League, and I think it's time. I think we have to bring Jota in. I think we got to get him on the pitch.
So would you start Jota on Thursday night then?
Yeah, I would. I would start definitely Kwanzaa, Elliott, Jota. Those 3 would definitely be in.
Who's your right back then?
Gomez.
Yeah, it'd have to be Gomez. See,
he hasn't barely had any minutes. This was his first.
Still wait on Trent to come in.
Yeah, I can't see Jota starting, but I think Jota might be caught. I mean, it might be a situation where, if it's 1-0 or 2-0 or something, maybe Jota comes in on 30 minutes, maybe with 30 minutes to go. I can't see him playing any more than a half. Even today, like he still looks quite rusty, doesn't he? Maybe Trent and Jota to come on after 30 minutes. I won't mind seeing maybe McAllister playing in a little bit deep. I mean, I can't see Endo playing again. McAllister.
No, Slobozai will start Thursday.
Yeah, McAllister, Slobozai, and in some ways, I know it's mad, but in some ways, I wouldn't even mind seeing some sort of double pivot and going a little bit 4-2-3-1 because, you know what I mean? You may as well just go and you may as well just sort of go at them, ain't you? I don't really think you've got any real other way of doing it, really.
Yeah,
it's not like you're playing against a top one of those top ones where you might have to be a bit cagey and sort of find your way into it. So I don't really think we've got the airs really. But
I just feel the opposite. I just feel like we got to start that game really well. So if that means Jota starts and then he comes off at 60 minutes or something like that, then I think that might be better. Because we're not really chasing the game with 30 minutes left and bring it seems counterproductive. But I think he might get a start. But if we're going to take it seriously, which we should, we are 3-0 down. But we can make comebacks. I mean, we have the players to do it, but we have to start with the best team the best 11 that we can put out there that's going to get us and get an early goal and get us through. Because it's not. I would say. And this sounds absolutely lunacy. I would say it's more likely we beat Atlanta 4-0 than we win the league at the moment.
Yeah. No, that's not lunacy at all. I think we could score 4 goals, but I can definitely see us conceding.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to score 4 basically. I don't think we'll win 3-0 and I think we'd have to score minimum 4 goals. Just to even take the tie to extra time. But yeah, do you know one thing I'd love to see, and I think we sort of seen it today, just having more of the clever lads on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Players that can just make good decisions. It didn't work as the game went on, but having the Gakpos, Harvey,
he played well. I thought Gakpo played well.
He did. He's unlucky not to play, really. Not unlucky not to start.
He was the one against Atlanta that did all right as well.
Yeah, he done well in the first half, at least, didn't he?
Yeah, he might get a start. You could see him starting, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could.
So is this turned into Atalanta preview as well?
I think we might do something before that. I don't know yet. Let's see.
We'll see.
But we can't do too much more because I've got about 6 minutes left on my Zoom.
I see your time.
I don't pay for the premium because I'm an absolute tight ass. So with that said, Reds, keep your chins up. If there's any football team, like I said on Thursday, if there's any football team that can produce an absolute miracle. It is our football team. So keep your chins up. And I say that the start of love to everyone from the families for tomorrow. And I'll see you guys soon, lads. Take care, all right?
All right. See you.
Everyone. Bye-bye.